that they do their own introduction at the end. So without any further ado, our next presentation is titled, Where is the Love?
Did you see the picture she posted on Twitter last night? She should not be wearing that outfit.
Hey, did you hear that Steve and Todd are going to prom together?
Those black girls are so loud in the morning, I can't handle it.
Pretty good at basketball for girls.
Can you believe Bethany prays before she eats her lunch?
Stupid.
Fat.
Gay.
Nerd.
Dumb.
Ugly.
Gross.
Bad.
Ugly.
Nasty.
Dumb.
Gross.
Bad. Bad.
Ugly.
Bad. Bad.
Stop!
How would you feel if these words were being said about you, about your children, or about your friends? According to DoSomething.org, 90% of fourth graders or higher admit to being bullied in their school. This statistic is also true for a school in the Alliance community, Alliance Middle School. When we were made aware of this issue by the principal, Mr. Lindsay, we were saddened and surprised to find that this was found in the same community as Mount Union. We were even more saddened to find that bullying in today's world isn't only an issue, it's become an epidemic.
I'm a witness to this epidemic. My cousin Gabby suffers from Deifert disease, which is a deformation of the face, hands, and feet. She was called a monster throughout middle school. One day, her fellow classmate asked her to go to her birthday party. Gabby was really excited. The eve of the party, the same classmate came up to my cousin Gabby, disinvited her, and then the day after the birthday party, she confronted my cousin Gabby in the hallway and demanded a present. My cousin Gabby was very impacted by this, and so was I, and this is why I am an ally against bullying.
As part of Dr. Jennifer Martin's multicultural education class, we conducted a service learning project within the community. Service learning is a learning technique that uses real-life experience and community outreach combined with classroom knowledge to teach children while having a positive and lasting impact on the community. Service learning is made up of 4 main sections: planning, action, reflection, and celebration and demonstration.
The first step in the process of service learning is planning. The planning process consists of learning the background knowledge necessary to conduct a successful process for the chosen group.
The second step is action. This consists of the actual interaction or service performed by the students.
The third step of the process is reflection. In order for service learning to be effective, students must reflect critically on their experiences.
And the final step of this process is celebration and demonstration. This final step not only shows what was learned, but the learning is also celebrated.
For our service learning project, we hosted 100 Alliance Middle School students on our campus for the entire school day.
To prepare for our service learning project, our multicultural education class read multiple books pertaining to education and teaching. We were already made aware that the Alliance Middle School had issues with bullying, but by reading these books, it helped us to solidify our decision to help them with these issues.
Some of those books that shaped our service learning pedagogies are I Won't Learn From You by Herbert Cole, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, Teaching with Vision by Christine Sleater and Catherine Cornblath.
The last book that we read that was the most impactful to us was Julie Lansman's A White Teacher Talks About Race. This book tells Lansman's story through a year of teaching that shows the reader what it is like to teach children of a minority race, a minority socioeconomic standing, and culture that is different than one's own, as well as the danger and the power of making assumptions and subscribing to stereotypes about one's students.
These books greatly assisted in our conference, not only in ways that made us better teachers, but also in ways that allowed us to understand and practice handling situations that were similar in all 4 works. Because of the books, we became more knowledgeable on the topic of bullying and were able to provide with the students with a successful conference and a different perspective.
We conferred as a class as to what would be best and most beneficial for the students. We finally decided that we would host a conference at the University of Mount Union in order to introduce the students to the campus and also to teach them about the different types of bullying. We divided the day into different sections: the Tunnel of Enlightenment, a cross the line activity, a video session, a large group discussion, and we'll get into the description of each of these sections later in our presentation.
We also included a logistics group that planned and scheduled all of the minor details of the conference in order to help the day run more smoothly and efficiently. And we also created a survey group in order to create a questionnaire that would tell us what the students learned from the conference. After deciding what our conference would consist of, we decided to call the event the Where's the Love Conference based on the song by the Black Eyed Peas.
close. We stopped our work in our individual groups and came together so that we could prepare for the conference. We got everything set up and we welcomed the students and staff to Mount Union and commenced our conference.
The Cross the Line session was an intense emotional experience for the students as well as the Mount Union leaders. The students were asked a series of questions and were then asked to step forward if the question applied to them. This activity allowed for them to see there were students in their class going through situations similar or worse than theirs.
The tunnel session was an informational session that held statistics based on different types of bullying, included gender, disability, cyberbullying, race, religion, sexuality, and body image. We created a mirror that said, "This is what an ally looks like." And when the students looked into the mirror, they decided whether or not they wanted to become an ally and ditch the ways of bullying.
The video session included a video of the Cartoon Network entitled Speak Up, Stop Bullying, which was also sponsored by President Obama. After that, we asked the students what made someone an ally and ended up with a group discussion which consisted of stories not only by the students but also by the Mount Union leaders. One of these stories was shared by a very young Julie.
I've always been awkward around girls, which may sound ironic being a group full of girls, but I really am. And in 8th grade it was no exception. I rarely talked to girls, so when I got a text from a number I didn't have, I was ecstatic because this girl said I was cute and had a crush on me. So I texted this girl throughout the day, trying to figure out who this person was, and eventually after a couple of hours, it ended up being a group of girls, and they said they were texting me as a joke, and they really didn't think I was cute, and they were just messing with me just because they wanted to be me. And that's something I think about still to this day, and that happened in 8th grade a long time ago. It makes it hard for me to accept compliments from people. It's hard to see if they're genuine or not, and it just shows that bullying